Anticipatory bail is a legal protection that allows a person to seek bail before being arrested if they believe they may be arrested for a non-bailable or serious offense. In Sri Lanka, anticipatory bail is not a general right and is granted only under special circumstances. This legal provision serves as a crucial safeguard, offering a preemptive remedy for individuals who have a reasonable apprehension that they may be taken into custody for an offense they have not committed, or for reasons that are not legally sound. The concept itself is designed to protect personal liberty from the potential misuse of the power of arrest. While many legal systems have codified this right extensively, Sri Lankan jurisprudence treats it with significant caution, reserving it for exceptional situations where the interests of justice demand such an intervention before an arrest is made. The underlying principle is to balance the needs of law enforcement to investigate crime with the fundamental right of a citizen to be free from unwarranted deprivation of liberty. Under Sri Lankan law, courts, especially the Court of Appeal, have the discretion to grant anticipatory bail to prevent unlawful, arbitrary, or malicious arrests. The authority to grant this form of relief is not explicitly detailed in a single statute, but has been developed through judicial interpretation and the inherent powers of the higher courts to uphold justice and protect fundamental rights. This legal remedy is mainly used when a person can show that the arrest is likely to be politically motivated, abusive, or intended to harass, rather than based on genuine criminal grounds. To succeed in an application for anticipatory bail, the petitioner must present credible and substantial evidence to the court, demonstrating a well-founded fear of imminent arrest for ulterior motives. Mere speculation or a vague fear of being arrested is insufficient. The applicant must provide a compelling case that the impending arrest is not a legitimate part of a criminal investigation, but is instead a tool of oppression, intimidation, or a means to settle personal or political scores. The judiciary acts as a gatekeeper, ensuring that this powerful legal tool is not misused by individuals seeking to evade legitimate law enforcement processes, but is instead reserved for those genuinely at risk of an unjust deprivation of their freedom. The courts will meticulously review the context of the anticipated arrest, including the background of any disputes, the timing of the complaint, and any evidence suggesting malice or bad faith on the part of the complainant or the authorities. Anticipatory bail is not automatically available for all offenses. Courts carefully examine a number of critical factors before deciding whether to grant this extraordinary relief. The first consideration is the seriousness of the alleged offense. The more grave the accusation, the less likely a court is to grant anticipatory bail, as the public interest in investigating serious crimes often outweighs the individual's claim to pre-arrest liberty. Secondly, the courts will scrutinize the conduct and background of the applicant. An individual with a history of criminal activity, a record of absconding from justice, or a tendency to tamper with evidence or witnesses will find it exceedingly difficult to secure anticipatory bail. The court seeks to ascertain whether the applicant is a person of good standing who is unlikely to abuse the freedom granted to them. Furthermore, a pivotal question the court addresses is whether the arrest would violate fundamental rights guaranteed under the Constitution of Sri Lanka. If the applicant can demonstrate that the impending arrest is a direct violation of their right to equality, freedom from arbitrary detention, or freedom of expression, the court may be more inclined to intervene. This links the remedy directly to the protection of constitutional safeguards, positioning anticipatory bail as a mechanism to prevent the state from overstepping its lawful boundaries. Finally, the court evaluates whether the applicant is likely to interfere with investigations if granted bail. This involves assessing the risk of the individual destroying evidence, intimidating or influencing witnesses, or otherwise obstructing the course of justice. The court must be satisfied that granting anticipatory bail will not cripple the ability of law enforcement agencies to conduct a thorough and impartial investigation into the alleged offense. Each of these factors is weighed carefully in a delicate balancing act to ensure that the final decision serves the broader interests of justice. In cases involving grave crimes such as murder, terrorism, or serious drug offenses, anticipatory bail is rarely granted. The judiciary adopts a highly stringent approach when dealing with such offenses, recognizing the significant threat they pose to public safety and national security. The societal interest in apprehending and prosecuting individuals accused of these crimes is considered paramount. For example, under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, PTA, or the Poisons, Opium and Dangerous Drugs Ordinance, the legal framework is designed to prioritize investigation and prosecution, making pre-arrest bail an almost unattainable remedy. The courts are extremely reluctant to exercise their discretion in a manner that could be perceived as hindering the investigation of organized crime, acts of terror, or large-scale narcotics trafficking. An applicant seeking anticipatory bail in connection with such a grave offense would need to present an exceptionally strong and compelling case demonstrating, for instance, that the accusation is patently false and fabricated for demonstrably malicious reasons. Even in such scenarios, the threshold of proof required is extraordinarily high, and the courts will proceed with the utmost caution. If approved, the court may issue an order preventing arrest or directing police to release the person on bail immediately after arrest, subject to strict conditions such as reporting to police, travel restrictions, or surrendering passports. The conditions imposed are tailored to mitigate the risks associated with granting pre-arrest bail, ensuring the applicant's cooperation with the ongoing investigation while protecting their liberty. A common condition is the requirement for the individual to report to a specific police station at regular intervals, which allows the authorities to monitor their presence and ensure they are available for questioning. Travel restrictions, including the surrender of the applicant's passport and an order preventing them from leaving the country without court permission, are frequently imposed to eliminate the risk of the person absconding. The court may also order the applicant to cooperate fully with the investigation, refrain from making any contact with witnesses or the complainant, and avoid any act that could be construed as tampering with evidence. A breach of any of these conditions can lead to the immediate revocation of the anticipatory bail, resulting in the person's arrest and detention. These stringent measures reflect the court's effort to strike a careful balance, protecting an individual from a potentially unjust arrest, while simultaneously ensuring that the integrity of the criminal justice process is not compromised.